What's up, squad? Today is December 16th. We're just gonna run through this crazy nice short that played out today and how I actually lost 500 trying to get into it, right? So that further just hop straight in. All right, so I'm just gonna hop in and preface this, bro. This is as clean as setups come, bro. I'm just being completely honest here. So let's look at some of the analysis that I have going on here, and I'll mark this out. I'm gonna keep most of this up, right? We're gonna look at this, right? So on the bigger time frame, like we talked about before, we are starting to look a little bit bearish, right? Why is that? Because we came up, we set these internal highs, we start to push lower, right? We get a little bit of a change, right? So now I'm trying to react and see how do we respect that change. This candle right here comes up. I know it's a bit convoluted, right? But we come up, we tap that change, and we push lower from there, right? So now we open the day and we're trying to figure out, hey, are we gonna bounce from maybe this 4-hour change in the state and push higher? Or is it going to be the point where we maybe get one further stop rate down and we take some of these lows, right? If that's going to be our point, we might be bearish. So a point that we could look to pull to would be equilibrium of this current range right here. So that would be an equilibrium pullback. That's right here. That's not a draw on liquidity. Understand, that's not being treated as draw on liquidity. Like I want to see price go here, but it's a point that we can pull back to. So I'm going to be a little bit more bearish until that point, right? And once that gets hit, I'm kind of like chilling, like, okay, let's see where we want to go, right? So it's similar to a draw on liquidity, but I'm not holding it as one, right? So zooming a bit lower, right? Opening the market, we did just sweep the sell side, and now we're trying to figure out what do we want to do. We pull back into this range, right? And this is where kind of all of our analysis becomes crazy clean, right? So as you see, we pull right back into equilibrium, right? What else do we pull right back into? Our new week open gap, SMT, and that SMT happens literally like a tick off from being at that OTE point right there. And then, yeah, so checking this out, literally like a tick off from being at that OTE point. And from there we start to sell, right? So this is pre-market. So let's zoom a little bit lower. This is pre-market, right? We start to sell here, and our 5 minutes starting to look bearish, right? We had 8:30 news, which is exactly what this manipulation was right here. So that could be a potential news drawn open if we want to go higher, right? Because we already took these lows. So now we're starting to push lower, and we open the market around here, right? So I'm trying to figure out, are we going to go lower fast, right? Okay, first let's look at some more bearish conferences because there's just so much, bro, right? We have all that generated liquidity. We have our session levels below. We have Asia midnight open below. We have all these things telling us, hey, let's go. This just looks way too clean to not be a short day. Like literally coming in and seeing this right here, I was like, bro, this is a beautiful short day, right? So coming in, I'm looking for this. I'm excited to trade for today, right? So opening up the market, what do we see? So 1 minute chart, let's check this out. We had 8:30 news, which is what this big spike was right here. And then as well, we had a bit of 9:45-ish news. So we're gonna see how that kind of reacts, right? So on open around here, we start to kind of manipulate back and forth. We dump a bit lower. We place an SMT right at this point right here. If you go ahead and check out NQ, you'll see that we didn't take this low. And then from here, we start to work our way higher, right? So this is an initial long setup that actually looks way cleaner on NQ. No way, I just clapped NQ out of my chart, right? We'll pull that back up. So yeah, this ends up looking way cleaner on NQ to take a morning long. I still don't like it, but if you got involved, I mean, not even that bad, honestly, right? So morning long would have probably been in here, and then you have to take something off here. Or if you want to big baller it and then take it somewhere on here, that's when you can catch that initial move. But once again, trading against that draw is going to get you double purge stop outs like this, right? Where we already purged first, then we come back again, right? So that's not something we want to trade. We don't want to trade against the draw, right? So let's go ahead and look at what price does. After that, we push higher, and then ES over here, our bad boy, right? ES pulls up and it pulls back to OTE of that range perfectly, right? But it doesn't place in, or it doesn't take the high, it only places in SMT, right? So pulling out our OTE levels right here. As you see, we pull back and we tap what I marked as orange. OTE literally perfectly, and we start to kind of play around there. And if you see like the 5 minute, once we get into that area, we do not want to close and we do not want to hold that area at all, right? Let's check it like 3 minute, something like this, right? Maybe 15, I guess. I'm just trying to show that every time we get back into that area, the market just starts to push lower, right? So all wicks in this area, right? Especially at that 0.705 level, nothing wants to get above that, right? So at this point, I see SMT and I'm like, hey, we've now manipulated higher. This could be our final manipulation. The market has done like literally every possibility. It's maxed out all of its possible things it can do at the top, to the point where this is so much of the lead up that I'm expecting to see the real move start the second I get my confirmation. So we see this initial push lower. Why did I not take my trade right here? There was an inverse. You could have taken this. This is honestly fine. I don't think it's that bad, but we didn't have a change, right? So for me, I'm not taking it. I need to wait for that change. So next thing that happens is we have a stop rate. I really always love those stop rates. You always have to look for those stop rates because those make your entry way more probable. So after that, we end up getting a real displacement, a real inverse, and a really nice change right here. That's when I place my entry at the change, and this is where I go wrong for the day, right? I took this on MES with 9 contracts, right? So I didn't take it on ES because risk is a little bit too big and I was just trying to kind of mitigate risk, which I end up seeing is a big issue, right? Because look, say we take this on MES, look what happens. I take my entry and I place my stop entry right here, and then stop was at this high of this candle right here. So now pulling that over, what happens? I literally get stopped to the tick and then price runs all the way to TP, right? So pulling that over on ES, literally same exact scenario. But if I trade it on ES, if you see ES, it doesn't actually take that candle wick, right? And then it ends up going. But what's the lessons from today, right? We see this really efficient model play out. This is literally everything I want to look for in a trading day. This move is so clean for December price action. So glad I could get involved in this today, but I'm just disappointed in my own ability to recognize, like I was telling you guys literally last video, that my way of trading and adapting December is going to now be, from now on, getting involved in premiums and placing that nice stop loss at the full SMT model high, right? And not looking for that to get returned to. That's what the one rule I said yesterday, I have violated in this video. And going forward, I'm holding this as a really concrete rule of mine because I've lost 3 trades now that would have all been bangers. My big trades, the ones that look really great, that have the biggest confluence this month and a little bit towards the end of last month, I've lost 3 trades total from this exact thing, placing just too tight of a stop, getting stopped out, and then price runs, bro. So that's kind of why I've been a little bit in the dumps recently. Like I've been saying, I've been getting those L kind of trades where I just get the partial and then we go and all that. I would have a way higher win rate. I would have way more bread in the account if I just place stops at those highs, right? So that's one thing I feel like God is trying to teach me by continuously almost edging me, like getting it close to me and taking it away from me, because God works as a loving father, right? How can he teach you these lessons? He can show them to you, discipline you with them, and do all that he can to get them in front of your face and make you realize he is showing you after and after and after. You are learning the knowledge and you're saying, okay, the lesson today was place my stop at the protected high. Okay, good, I'm gonna do it going forward. But you graduate with knowledge, but you don't consistently pass the obedience test. That's why you have to get retaught the lesson, right? If the lesson is to not fight in school, how many times do you think you've been told that? How many times did it take you to be told that for you to know that? Literally, after the first time you knew, I probably shouldn't fight in school. How many times after that did you fight in school? Did you be rude to your teacher? Did you push your friends? Did you have hands on homies? All those things, bro. So the issue in life and learning with a lot of us is not that we don't know. It's usually not an ignorance problem. And within your first couple months of trading, you pretty much iron out all of your ignorance problems, except very small few ones, right? It then becomes the obedience problems. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to really ironing out and just following and almost making it like a video game, just like leveling up my character into someone who's always being obedient to those rules no matter what. Just being that guy who's always on the rules, like, nah, bro, I can't take that. Nah, bro, hey, enjoy the bread, bro, because I'm not taking that because I doesn't have this and this and this, right? Being that guy, that's one thing that I think is going to revolutionize my trading, allow me to start making good bread in December, doing all these things that, like, bro, like, this trade is so nice. The only issue here, and it doesn't really require over analysis, it just requires, hey, you should have placed less of a stop, right? Boom, it's that simple. But you didn't, and because of that, you didn't make any bread. So it's it's literally just me being taught the same exact repeat lesson until I learn, right? So for me to kind of come into the market today, the biggest takeaway is always place that stop loss, bro, and treat yourself kind of on obedience game mode, where it's like you're a video game character, you're watching from the third person perspective of yourself, and you're just leveling yourself up. You're leveling your discipline stats, you're leveling your this stats, your this stats, your this stats. But I think the trade today was crystal clear. I think everything today was crystal clear in the market. And I see, like, yesterday we got involved in one of these small moves after missing the initial big sell-off, right? So today, getting involved in this initial sell-off presents itself as the clear good opportunity, right? Because it's showing that it's obvious that this is the best opportunity. Get involved in this, hop out for the day, don't even check the charts for this rest of this low probability BS, right? You can obviously still take some small scalps in here and probably make some good money, right? But the issue becomes doing that and not getting burnt, right? So kind of understanding that is the biggest thing in terms of like how I think like I definitely did better today in understanding price action than I did yesterday, even though today was a red day and yesterday was a green day, right? So getting over those things, those psychological barriers where red equals bad, green equals good, all those things, bro, you need to stick to your plan, place the right stop losses, trust God in the process and in the timelines, and fully submit and watch what happens, and just trust that God will take care of you. You can never outgive God. You can never outtrust God. You can never do these things. And those are facts that no one has ever proven wrong, ever. So hope you guys get what I'm trying to put down, a little bit of that mindset frequency, the technical analysis frequency, all that stuff. I thought today was super clean. I thought it was a great day to journal, great day to evolve as a trader, right? So without further ado, let you boys go. Good to see you all, and peace out.